If you feel like you've been breaking out a lot more lately, there's a reason why. Celebrity esthetician Renee Rouleau says that fall is breakout season. So she's going to tell us why that is and give us 5 tips to help clear up our acne. So most people think that summer is the time that they're going to break out the most, but you're saying that it's fall. Why is that?
It's because people are producing oil during the summer, and yes, oil can, fester in the skin and make bacteria, but what happens in the fall is that you get more dead skin cell buildup because the air starts to cool down, but you're still getting all that oil production and it gets trapped and clogged under the skin, and that can lead to breakouts.
More breakouts than you would experience in any other season.
Correct, yeah, that's what I found with my clients.
So what are some of the things that we can do?
So one of the first things you want to do is not over dry your skin. As soon as people start to break out, they immediately think, oh, I need to start using these acne products. The skin is always trying to repair itself. So if it recognizes that it's been dehydrated and water has been pulled out of the skin, your skin will try to fix that. And one of the ways it does that is it stimulates more oil production to help compensate for that water loss. So you actually produce more oil, and the more oil you produce, the more likely you are to breed more bacteria, and more bacteria leads to breakouts.
More breakouts, clogged pores,
Exactly.
Everything that you don't want.
Exactly.
So that squeaky clean feeling is actually going to do the opposite effect that you think.
Correct.
Which are those products that over dry the skin?
So you want to always make sure you're using an alcohol-free toner, not an alcohol-based toner. So avoid ingredients like SD alcohol 40 or denatured alcohol in your toner. Be careful with your cleansers. Use sulfate-free. The general rule is the more lather, the more drying it is. The less lather, the less drying. So look for low foaming cleansers, but still things that have antibacterial ingredients in them. I love Renee Rouleau AHA BHA Cleansing Gel. This is a great cleanser because it's soap-free and sulfate-free, and so it won't dry out your skin. It has exfoliating beads in it, jojoba beads, which actually tend to be much better for people with acne as opposed to the natural grains like apricot kernels that are crushed up that can scratch and lacerate the skin and spread bacteria. So you want to exfoliate with round beads, and then this particular one has salicylic acid in it.
All right, what's the next tip?
Be sure to moisturize your skin, but choose an oil-free lotion. So the idea is that you still want to keep water in the skin, but you don't need the oil because chances are your skin already has it, but you still need the skin cells to stay moist and hydrated.
Right, so it's kind of like going back to the don't over dry your skin, you also need to replenish your skin.
Exactly. The goal is to always make your skin have a healthy balance, and you don't want to strip it, you don't want it to dry out, things that are too harsh, but you need to keep the skin cells moist. And I always say, skin cells are like fish. They need water to live, and without it, then they dehydrate, you cause more problems, so just choose an oil-free lotion.
When it comes to moisturizing, I think a lot of us are worried that we're going to over-moisturize. Is that possible?
Your skin is like a sponge. It can only absorb so much. So the problem is if you keep adding on moisturizer, you're just wasting it because, again, your skin cells can only absorb so much. But then also you might create a little bit of an occlusive effect.
Yeah, that makes sense. And then how often should we moisturize? Both morning and night?
Morning and night, every time after you wash. And here's the tip. After you wash your skin is damp, pat it dry, and immediately moisturize afterwards. Don't wait longer than 60 seconds because the moisture from the shower will attract moisture out from your skin, and they'll go to the driest area, which is the air. So you want to work quickly and get your moisturizer on right away after you wash.
So tip number 3, what is it?
Use products with salicylic acid. It's one of my favorite ingredients for acne.
And why is that? Because there are lots of ingredients to choose from. There's benzoyl peroxide. There's even in a lot of organic products, I've noticed they use clay. Why is salicylic acid better?
Well, the reason why I like salicylic acid is because it has many different benefits to it. And the main benefit is that it won't dry out your skin. So the problem with benzoyl peroxide is that it's very drying. So benzoyl peroxide tends to be better when used as a spot treatment on blemishes because it is very drying. But the nice thing about salicylic acid is that it's antibacterial, it's exfoliating. So when people have breakouts, yes, they have individual breakouts, but they also have post-breakout scars that linger for a month afterwards. They tend to have blackheads and clogged pores and congested skin. So that the exfoliation properties that salicylic acid offers just really can smooth the skin and make it so much clearer than benzoyl peroxide.
So what are the best times to use salicylic acid? Can you use it throughout the day or just morning and night or just night? What's the best?
In the case of a product like mine, the BHA Clarifying Serum, I recommend you use it at night because acids are designed to repair the skin, and during the day you want your skincare routine to be more focused on defense of the sun and environment. So during the day it's more about protecting your skin from the world, and then at night it's more about repair and doing things that are a little more aggressive with the skin.
So we're on to the next tip, and this one's kind of a bummer for some people. What is it?
If you're prone to cystic acne in the chin and jawline area, you may want to consider cutting back or cutting dairy out of your diet.
Yep, and that includes yogurt, right?
Correct. Yogurt, ice cream, cheese, they can all be culprits.
What do you think the correlation is between the dairy and the breakouts?
A lot of people are lactose intolerant. So what may be happening is that when people are getting more dairy than their body can digest and process, it may be coming out in the form of cystic acne in the chin and jawline area.
Sure.
What I recommend to my clients is keep a food diary and cut it out completely for 2 weeks. And the reason why I say keep a food diary is because it makes you more aware of the dairy you might be accidentally getting. You know, a lot of people say, well, I don't drink milk or I don't eat yogurt, but they might have a salad that has cheese sprinkled all over it or something like that.
Or the creamer in their coffee.
Exactly, right. They don't really think of that as dairy. So keep a food diary and see if that helps. And if all of a sudden you're not getting any new breakout, then you might be onto something.
What are other ways to treat cystic acne?
So really there's only 2 things that you can do. One is to go to a dermatologist and get a cortisone shot. This is where they, inject it into the cyst and it will help make it go really quickly. The other remedy that I have found is my very popular anti-cyst treatment. This is one of our best-selling products in the line. Renee Rouleau Anti-Cyst Treatment has a very purified form of lactic acid. It's anti-inflammatory. The minute you feel a cyst coming up, you dab it on and it works to dissolve and disperse that infection to help make that cyst go down.
Now we're on to the last tip, and this is a big one. It's really important. What is it?
Identify your blemish and treat it accordingly. 2 things will happen when you get a blemish. Either the infection will come out through the surface of the skin in a whitehead, like a pustular type blemish, or it's a cyst, which it's not meant to come out the surface of the skin. Your body reabsorbs that infection. When you wake up in the morning and you have a blemish, if you tend to think it's a cyst, apply something like anti-cyst, or maybe some ice can help decrease inflammation, but you want to leave that alone because your body will reabsorb that infection, as I said. If you think it starts to come out through the surface of the skin, it's going to be one of those type of blemishes. You don't want to put anything on it, because if you start to dry it out, you end up drying out the surface of the skin, which is creating layers and layers of dead skin cell buildup. And this infection is trying to come out. That's
so you're trapping it.
You're trapping it. And so it's trying to come out, and now it can't get out. And so now there's more inflammation, more redness, and you just make it worse. So what you want to do is wait until you see a visible whitehead, gently extract it, get that infection out, then apply a spot treatment onto that kind of open infected area, and that will get in and help clear out the pore lining and remove any additional bacteria to help dry it up and make it go away quickly.
Got it. Now, so you just said 2 things that really caught my attention. One, it's the don't apply the products onto your blemish if it's trying to come out, because I think that's exactly what I do.
And what most people do.
Yeah.
Most people do, sure.
So you're saying the opposite, which that's really good to know. But 2, you're saying extraction, which a lot of dermatologists and estheticians say not to do at home.
That's correct, and mainly because people do it the wrong way.
Right.
So no one wants to walk around with a whitehead on their skin. And
right. It's kind of gross.
Yeah, but what you want to do is wait until you see a visible whitehead. That's the only time I give permission for people to pick at their skin. You can maybe put a warm compress on it, which will soften up the surface of the skin. Cover your fingers in tissue and gently squeeze. And I say 3 strikes, you're out. If it doesn't come out after 3 times, be done. Chances are you've kind of helped it to the surface of the skin, and so the next day it usually will come out. But also what you want to do is when you squeeze the blemish, you want to go at different angles, because what you're trying not to do is to scar the skin, get nail marks on the skin. I mean, you want to really treat it gently because that area is very infected and inflamed already. So work different angles. Maybe go 2 o'clock and 7 o'clock, 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock, and so work. Sometimes it's a little awkward to do that, but the goal is you're trying not to scar the skin and leave a blemish mark there for much longer.
Got it. Well, this is great information. Thank you so much.
I'm happy to be here.
Celebrity esthetician Renee Rouleau. You can find her in Dallas, LA, and New York City, and you can get more tips and tricks from us every Tuesday if you subscribe to NewBeauty here on YouTube. I'm Susan Yara, and thank you for watching.